Hello there, and welcome to The Sleepy Scientist, a place where curiosity softens and even the most powerful events in the universe can be understood in calm and gentle ways. Tonight, we turn our attention to supernovas, not as moments of violence or destruction, but as slow, inevitable transformations that quietly reshape the cosmos. Before we begin, allow yourself to settle. Let your shoulders relax, your breathing become unforced, and your thoughts loosen their grip. There is nothing you need to follow closely, and nothing you need to remember. This is simply a space to listen and rest. Supernovas are often described as explosive endings, yet when viewed through the lens of cosmic time, they're graceful transitions. They unfold according to steady physical laws, releasing energy and matter in a way that has been quietly prepared for millions of years. What appears sudden to us is, in truth, the completion of a long and patient process. As we move gently through this journey, we will explore peaceful facts about supernovas, how stars reach the end of their life cycles, how their outer layers drift outward into space, and how these remnants slowly become part of new clouds and future stars. We will focus on the calm aftermath, the quiet dispersal of elements, and the slow formation of nebulae that follow. These reflections are shared in a slow, voiceover-friendly style, designed for deep relaxation, background listening, and falling asleep. There is no urgency here, no sharp transitions, and no need to stay awake. Each idea will flow softly into the next, mirroring the universe's own steady rhythm. If you enjoy these peaceful explorations of science and the cosmos, you're always welcome to subscribe and return whenever you need calm curiosity or quiet rest. For now, simply listen and allow the serene story of stellar transformation to unfold at its own gentle pace. Let us begin. A supernova begins long before any visible change appears in the sky, during a star's long and steady life. For millions or even billions of years, the star quietly balances gravity pulling inward and energy pushing outward. This balance is calm and stable, and the eventual supernova is not a sudden decision, but the natural result of this balance slowly shifting. In this sense, a supernova is less an explosion and more a gentle release from a long-held state of equilibrium. When a star approaches the supernova stage, its internal processes slow rather than rush. Nuclear reactions change gradually, layers settle and reorganize, and the star follows predictable physical laws without urgency. These changes occur deep inside the star, hidden from view, unfolding calmly over immense stretches of time before anything dramatic becomes visible from afar. From the perspective of the universe, a supernova is brief only because cosmic time moves so slowly. What humans perceive as a sudden burst of light is actually the final moment of a process that has been quietly developing for ages. This contrast reminds us that even powerful events can be rooted in patience and long preparation. After a supernova occurs, the surrounding space does not become chaotic. Instead, the ejected material expands outward smoothly, thinning as it travels. This outward movement is guided by physics rather than forceful randomness, creating expanding shells of gas that drift calmly into the surrounding darkness. The light from a supernova fades gradually, not abruptly. After reaching its peak brightness, it slowly dims over weeks, months, or even years. This gradual fading allows the event to leave the sky softly, reinforcing the idea that even endings in the universe prefer gentle transitions rather than sudden stops. The elements released by a supernova do not scatter violently forever. Over time, they slow down, cool, and mix peacefully with surrounding interstellar material. These elements become part of vast clouds of gas and dust, where motion is slow and temperatures are low, creating environments that feel quiet and still. Supernova remnants often form beautiful nebulae that persist for tens of thousands of years. These nebulae expand gently, shaped by subtle magnetic fields and faint interactions with nearby space. Their structure reflects balance rather than disruption, appearing as soft filaments and glowing clouds rather than sharp fragments. The space around a supernova remnant gradually settles into a new calm state. Energy dissipates, particles spread out, and motion becomes increasingly subtle. Over time, what remains is not destruction, but a new equilibrium where matter rests quietly until future stars begin to form. Supernovas contribute to the universe in a way that is steady and nurturing rather than aggressive. The heavy elements they release drift slowly into future star systems, planets, and eventually living worlds. This process happens over immense timescales, allowing matter to move gently from one stage of existence to the next. Seen as part of the universe's larger rhythm, supernovas are moments of transformation rather than disruption. They mark the completion of one calm chapter and the quiet beginning of another. Nothing is rushed, nothing is wasted, and nothing truly ends. The process simply continues, guided by balance, time, and the steady patience of the cosmos. As a supernova settles into its later stages, the energy released begins to disperse evenly into the surrounding space. This dispersal is not abrupt or violent, but gradual and measured, allowing the expanding material to slow naturally as it moves farther from its origin. Over time, the surrounding region grows quieter, and the initial intensity softens into a broad, calm presence that blends gently with the darkness around it. The core left behind after certain supernovas often becomes a neutron star, an object of remarkable density and stability. Despite its extreme nature, a neutron star exists in a state of balance, rotating steadily and emitting energy in regular, predictable patterns. This steady rhythm reflects a new kind of calm, one defined by consistency and order rather than outward motion. In some cases, the remnants of a supernova form shock waves that travel outward through space. These waves move slowly across cosmic distances, gradually losing energy as they go. Instead of creating ongoing disturbance, they smooth and shape nearby clouds of gas, influencing them gently over thousands of years rather than forcing immediate change. The gas clouds touched by a supernova's remnants do not rush into new activity. They cool slowly, becoming quieter and more diffuse. Over long periods, gravity may gently draw parts of these clouds together, but this process unfolds patiently, allowing vast stretches of time where nothing seems to happen at all. Supernovas also influence their surroundings through subtle chemical enrichment. Elements like oxygen, carbon, and iron spread thinly into space, mixing slowly with existing material. This mixing is calm and even, ensuring that no region is overwhelmed and allowing the universe to maintain a steady balance of matter. The visual beauty of supernova remnants often emerges long after the initial event. As gases cool and glow faintly, they form delicate structures that persist for thousands of years. These glowing forms change so slowly that they appear almost still, offering a peaceful reminder that transformation can be gentle and prolonged. Over time, the expanding material from a supernova becomes indistinguishable from the interstellar medium. Its energy has faded, its motion slowed, and its presence integrated seamlessly into the larger environment. What once seemed like a dramatic event becomes simply another quiet component of space. The influence of a supernova is rarely confined to a single moment or place. Its effects unfold across vast distances and long durations, spreading so gradually that they feel more like a steady background process than an isolated occurrence. This slow influence supports the idea that the universe favors continuity over interruption. As centuries pass, the memory of the supernova fades from immediate visibility, but its contribution remains. The elements it released continue their quiet journey, becoming part of new stars, planets, and clouds. This continuity ensures that nothing is lost, only transformed, and always at a gentle pace. In the larger flow of cosmic history, Supernovas represent transitions that honor stillness as much as change. Their energy disperses, their remnants settle, and their influence becomes part of the universe's calm foundation. Even events born from immense forces ultimately resolve into quiet balance, guided by time and steady natural laws. As the remnants of a supernova continue to expand, their motion becomes increasingly subtle. What was once a concentrated release of energy spreads over such a vast volume of space that movement slows to a near standstill. In these later stages, the material drifts rather than travels, existing in a state that feels more like suspension than motion, quietly blending into the surrounding cosmic environment. The temperature of supernova debris decreases steadily as time passes. Heat radiates away into space, and particles lose energy gradually. This cooling process takes thousands of years, allowing the remnants to transition gently from brightness to faintness, never shifting abruptly, always easing towards stillness. Magnetic fields play a quiet role in shaping supernova remnants. They guide charged particles along invisible paths, creating soft filaments and arcs that appear delicate rather than forceful. These structures form slowly, tracing patterns that remain stable for long periods, adding to the sense of calm order that follows the initial transformation. The space surrounding an old supernova remnant often becomes a region of reduced activity. With energy dissipated and motion slowed, the area settles into a quieter state than before. This calm zone can persist for ages, acting as a resting place for matter before it becomes involved in future cycles of star formation. Supernova remnants interact gently with nearby interstellar clouds. Instead of tearing them apart, the fading waves of energy compress these clouds slowly, encouraging subtle changes in density. These interactions are patient and gradual, allowing the clouds to respond over long timescales without disruption. Light emitted from aging supernova remnants is faint and diffuse. It spreads evenly, creating soft glows rather than sharp points. Observed from afar, this light feels more like a gentle presence than an event, reinforcing the idea that the universe prefers smooth transitions over sudden endings. The elements created and released by a supernova settle into long-term circulation within a galaxy. They orbit calmly around the galactic center, mixing slowly with other materials. This movement is steady and predictable, contributing to the galaxy's overall balance without introducing instability. Over thousands of years, the identity of a supernova remnant becomes less distinct. Its boundaries blur, and its material becomes part of the broader interstellar medium. This blending happens so gradually that there is no clear moment when the remnant disappears, only a slow merging into the background of space. Supernovas also leave behind regions of silence where activity has concluded. Once the energy has dissipated and matter has spread out, these regions remain calm, experiencing long stretches of minimal change. This extended quiet allows the universe to maintain equilibrium across vast distances. Viewed within the full span of cosmic time, supernovas are brief pauses in a much slower rhythm. After their transformation, the universe returns to its steady pace, carrying forward the redistributed matter with patience. The calm that follows is not empty or inactive, but full of quiet potential, waiting without urgency for whatever may come next. As supernova remnants continue to age, their expansion slows to such a degree that motion becomes almost imperceptible. The particles that were once energized now drift quietly, guided by gravity and faint magnetic influences. In this stage, the remnant feels less like an event and more like a calm region of space that simply exists, suspended between past change and future possibility. The energy released during a supernova does not disappear suddenly, but fades gently into the surrounding cosmos. Radiation spreads outward and thins over vast distances, losing intensity without interruption. This slow fading allows space to return to a quiet state where nothing feels abrupt or unresolved. The gases within an old supernova remnant begin to organize into softer structures as turbulence fades. Filaments stretch and relax, glowing faintly as they cool. These shapes remain stable for long periods, changing so gradually that they appear almost still, offering a sense of visual rest rather than activity. Gravity quietly resumes its long-term influence on the dispersed material. Over immense spans of time, it may draw parts of the cooled gas together, but this attraction works slowly and gently. There is no urgency in this process, only patience, as matter responds when conditions naturally allow. Supernova remnants often become regions of low density compared to their surroundings. In these spaces, particles are widely spaced, and interactions are rare. This spaciousness creates an environment of deep calm, where motion is minimal and change unfolds at a nearly silent pace. The faint light from a supernova remnant travels outward without direction or purpose, simply existing as a soft signal of what once occurred. As it weakens, it blends into the background glow of the galaxy, leaving behind no sharp boundary between presence and absence. The materials dispersed by a supernova begin a long, slow journey through the galaxy. They orbit the galactic center calmly, influenced by steady gravitational patterns that rarely shift. This movement is predictable and smooth, reinforcing the sense that the universe favors stability over interruption. As centuries pass, the region influenced by the supernova becomes quieter than before. Energy has been redistributed, motion has slowed, and matter has settled into a new balance. This calm does not signify emptiness, but readiness, a space prepared for future cycles without pressure. Supernova remnants contribute to the overall harmony of the galaxy by evening out energy and material distribution. By spreading elements across wide regions, they help maintain balance, preventing concentration and instability. This quiet balancing act unfolds continuously and without notice. In the long view of cosmic history, the aftermath of a supernova feels like a return to stillness. After transformation has completed, the universe resumes its slow rhythm, carrying forward redistributed matter with patience. What remains is not an ending, but a calm continuation where space rests quietly until new processes begin in their own time. As supernova remnants continue to age, their presence becomes quieter and more diffuse, blending gently into the surrounding interstellar space. The gases and particles that once carried immense energy now move so slowly that their motion feels almost suspended. In this stage, the remnant no longer draws attention to itself, existing instead as a calm region where matter rests in balance with its environment. The universe absorbs the energy of a supernova in a patient and even way. Rather than lingering as disturbance, the energy spreads outward and thins, becoming part of the background conditions of space. This slow absorption allows calm to return naturally, without sharp transitions or lingering instability. The faint glow that remains after a supernova slowly softens over time. Emissions fade as particles cool and interactions become less frequent. This gradual dimming feels like a gentle settling rather than an ending, allowing light to withdraw quietly into the vastness around it. The materials released by a supernova begin to experience long periods of stillness. With little interaction and wide separation, particles can exist for ages without significant change. This extended calm allows the universe to pause, holding matter in reserve until future conditions invite movement again. Gravity continues to guide matter subtly long after a supernova has passed. Its influence is steady and predictable, encouraging slow alignment rather than rapid collapse. This gentle guidance helps maintain order without demanding action, reinforcing the universe's preference for patience. The space shaped by a supernova remnant often becomes a region of gentle equilibrium. Pressure equalizes, temperatures stabilize, and motion diminishes. This equilibrium can persist for thousands of years, creating a calm pocket within the larger galactic environment. Supernova remnants quietly contribute to the smooth distribution of elements across a galaxy. By spreading material over wide distances, they prevent concentration and imbalance. This even distribution supports long-term stability, allowing future stars to form without urgency or competition. As the memory of the supernova fades, its influence remains embedded in the structure of space itself. The elements it provided continue their slow journey, becoming part of clouds, stars, and planets far in the future. This continuity ensures that transformation unfolds without loss or disruption. The silence surrounding an old supernova remnant is complete. With no sound and minimal motion, the region reflects the deepest calm of space. In this silence, activity continues at such a slow pace that it feels indistinguishable from rest. Seen within the full span of cosmic time, the aftermath of a supernova is a return to balance rather than a conclusion. Matter settles, energy disperses, and space resumes its steady rhythm. What remains is a quiet continuity, where the universe holds still, unhurried, waiting gently for whatever may come next. As the influence of a supernova continues to soften, the surrounding region of space enters a long period of quiet adjustment. Particles that were once energized now move slowly enough that their paths seem almost fixed. This gentle slowing allows the area to settle into a stable state where nothing demands immediate change, and the universe resumes its calm, unhurried rhythm. The remnants of a supernova gradually lose their identity as a distinct structure. Boundaries blur as gases thin and spread, merging seamlessly with the interstellar medium. This blending happens so slowly that there is no clear moment of transition, only a continuous easing into the background fabric of space. Temperature differences within the remnant even out over time. Hotter regions cool, cooler regions warm slightly, and balance is restored through patient energy exchange. This slow equalization creates an environment where extremes fade away, leaving behind a steady and comfortable cosmic climate. The atoms released by a supernova often spend millions of years drifting quietly before becoming part of anything new. During this time, they exist in a state of rest-like motion, traveling gently through space without purpose or direction. This long pause allows matter to simply exist, free from pressure or demand. Magnetic fields within old supernova remnants relax as energy dissipates. Their influence becomes subtle and uniform, guiding particles softly rather than sharply. These invisible structures remain present, but they no longer impose change, allowing calm order to persist. The surrounding galaxy absorbs the effects of a supernova with remarkable patience. Spiral arms, gas clouds, and stars continue their slow motions, incorporating the dispersed material without disruption. This seamless integration reflects the universe's ability to accommodate change while preserving overall harmony. Light emitted from cooling remnants becomes increasingly faint, eventually blending into the natural glow of the galaxy. This fading does not feel like disappearance, but like a gentle return to darkness, where brightness is no longer needed to mark presence. Over long periods, the space influenced by a supernova becomes indistinguishable from any other quiet region of the galaxy. Motion remains slow, interactions remain rare, and conditions remain stable. The universe shows no urgency to move on, allowing calm to endure. The matter released by supernovas contributes to future stars and planets only when conditions naturally allow. There is no rush toward creation. Gravity waits patiently, gathering material slowly, ensuring that new beginnings emerge gently rather than suddenly. In the deepest sense, the aftermath of a supernova is a lesson in cosmic rest. After transformation has unfolded, the universe settles back into stillness, holding its redistributed matter in quiet balance. Nothing pushes forward, nothing pulls back, and time continues to pass softly, leaving space calm, open, and untroubled. As time continues to pass after a supernova, the region it once illuminated becomes a place of deep quiet. The particles that remain are spread so widely that interactions are rare and motion slows to a gentle drift. In this stage, space feels settled, as though it has exhaled and returned to a calm state where nothing presses for attention. The energy that once defined the supernova has now been absorbed into the broader environment of the galaxy. It does not linger as disturbance, but becomes part of the background conditions that shape space everywhere. This slow absorption allows balance to be restored naturally, without any clear boundary between activity and rest. The gases left behind continue to cool over long periods, releasing heat gradually into the surrounding darkness. This cooling happens so evenly that no sudden changes occur. Instead, temperatures move steadily toward equilibrium, reinforcing a sense of comfort and stability within the remnant. The elements formed and released during the supernova spend long ages traveling through space without purpose or destination. They move gently along galactic paths, guided by gravity that acts steadily and predictably. This unhurried journey allows matter to exist without urgency, simply being carried along by the larger rhythm of the galaxy. As the remnant ages, its influence becomes more subtle than visible. There may be no bright glow or distinct structure left to observe, yet the region still carries the quiet imprint of transformation. This subtlety reflects how lasting change in the universe often becomes calm and understated with time. The surrounding interstellar medium gradually adjusts to the presence of the dispersed material. Pressure differences smooth out, motion settles, and the area becomes indistinguishable from other calm regions of space. This quiet integration shows how the universe absorbs change without disruption. Magnetic fields that once shaped energetic motion now exist in a relaxed state, guiding particles gently rather than forcefully. Their influence is steady and soft, contributing to order without introducing tension. These invisible structures help maintain calm alignment across wide regions of space. The silence of an old supernova region is complete. With no sound, no rapid movement, and no sudden events, the area reflects the deepest stillness the universe offers. In this silence, time feels extended, and change unfolds at a pace that feels almost motionless. The matter released by the supernova remains available for future processes, but only when conditions are right. Gravity does not hurry, and clouds do not rush to collapse. Everything waits patiently, allowing potential to exist without pressure to become action. In this later stage, the story of the supernova is no longer about transformation, but about rest. The universe holds the redistributed matter gently, maintaining balance and continuity. What once appeared powerful now exists as quiet presence, part of a steady cosmic background where calm endures and nothing needs to happen next. As the quiet aftermath of a supernova continues, the region it once energized becomes increasingly gentle in character. Motion slows to a soft drift, and matter settles into wide, patient paths. Nothing presses forward, and nothing resists. Space simply holds what remains, allowing the universe to return to its steady, unhurried pace. The particles dispersed by the supernova now exist in an environment where interactions are rare and subtle. With so much distance between them, collisions become unlikely, and change unfolds at a pace that feels almost still. This spacious calm allows matter to rest without disturbance, suspended comfortably within the galaxy. Light in this region becomes increasingly faint, blending seamlessly into the surrounding darkness. Any remaining glow is diffuse and soft, offering no sharp edges or sudden contrasts. This gradual dimming feels like a gentle settling rather than a disappearance, allowing visual quiet to take hold. Gravity continues its influence without urgency, guiding matter along slow and predictable routes. There is no collapse, no sudden gathering, only a steady presence that keeps particles loosely connected to the larger galactic structure. This guidance feels supportive rather than demanding, reinforcing long-term balance. The space shaped by an old supernova remnant often becomes a place of calm equilibrium. Pressures equalize, temperatures stabilize, and motion becomes uniform. In this balanced state, the region blends into its surroundings, no longer standing apart but contributing quietly to the galaxy's overall harmony. The elements released long ago now move as part of the galaxy's gentle circulation. They orbit calmly, mixing slowly with other material over millions of years. This mixing is even and patient, ensuring that no single area becomes overwhelmed and the balance is preserved everywhere. Magnetic influences in the region soften as energy dissipates. Instead of shaping sharp structures, they guide particles gently, maintaining order without force. These invisible fields contribute to calm alignment rather than activity, supporting stillness across vast distances. The silence of this space is complete and uninterrupted. With no sound and no sudden motion, the area feels deeply restful. Time passes without markers, and change unfolds so gradually that it feels almost imperceptible, reinforcing the universe's quiet endurance. The matter resting here holds potential without obligation. It may one day become part of a new cloud, a new star, or a distant world, but there is no hurry. Gravity waits, space waits, and the material remains free to exist without direction. In this stage, the supernova's story is no longer about intensity or transformation, but about calm continuity. What remains is balance, patience, and quiet presence. The universe carries forward what was released, not with urgency, but with steady care, allowing rest to be just as meaningful as change. As the quiet aftermath of a supernova continues to unfold, the region it once illuminated becomes a place where motion feels softened and unassertive. Particles travel along broad, patient arcs, guided by gravity that neither tightens nor releases its hold abruptly. This gentle guidance allows space to feel settled, as though the universe has returned to a comfortable resting pace. The materials dispersed long ago now occupy such wide distances that their presence feels diffuse rather than concentrated. With so much room to exist, particles rarely interact, and when they do, the exchanges are mild and unhurried. This spaciousness creates an atmosphere of calm, where nothing presses for change and nothing resists it. Any remaining light within this region is faint and evenly spread, lacking sharp points or bright contrasts. It drifts quietly through space, blending into the natural glow of the galaxy. This softened illumination supports a sense of visual stillness, allowing the area to fade gently into the background rather than stand apart. Gravity continues to shape motion without imposing urgency. It keeps matter loosely aligned with the galaxy's structure, allowing slow circulation without forcing gathering or collapse. This steady presence feels supportive, maintaining connection while preserving freedom of movement. The space influenced by the supernova gradually reaches a state of quiet equilibrium. Temperatures stabilize, pressures balance, and motion evens out. In this balanced state, the region no longer carries signs of past intensity, existing instead as a calm, integrated part of the surrounding environment. Elements released during the supernova now participate in the galaxy's long, gentle mixing process. They drift through spiral arms and interstellar regions at a pace measured in millions of years. This mixing is smooth and even, ensuring continuity without concentration or disruption. Magnetic fields in the area persist in a relaxed form, guiding charged particles along subtle paths. Their influence is gentle and steady, shaping motion without creating tension. These invisible structures help maintain order while allowing the overall calm to remain undisturbed. The silence here is complete and uninterrupted. With no sound to mark motion and no rapid events to draw attention, time feels extended. Change continues at such a slow pace that it feels almost indistinguishable from rest, reinforcing a deep sense of stillness. Matter within this region holds quiet potential without expectation. It may one day become part of a new cloud or a distant star, but there is no schedule and no demand. Everything waits naturally, allowing possibility to exist without pressure to become action. In this stage, the supernova's legacy is one of calm continuity. What once transformed has now settled into balance, contributing quietly to the universe's steady rhythm. The cosmos carries forward this material gently, allowing rest, patience, and stillness to remain just as meaningful as creation itself. As the long calm of following a supernova continues, the region shaped by its past becomes increasingly gentle and spacious. Matter is now spread so thinly that movement feels almost symbolic rather than physical. Particles follow wide, graceful paths through space, guided by gravity that acts steadily and without urgency. In this phase, the universe feels settled, as though it has fully absorbed the transformation and returned to a comfortable, enduring stillness. The energy that once defined the supernova is now fully merged with the surrounding galactic environment. It no longer exists as a distinct influence, but as part of the background conditions that quietly shape space everywhere. This blending happens so smoothly that there is no sense of loss or conclusion, only a gradual return to balance where nothing stands apart. Light in this region is now extremely faint, diffused across vast distances. Any remaining glow is soft and evenly spread, lacking edges or contrast. This gentle illumination does not draw attention, but instead allows the darkness of space to feel calm and complete rather than empty. Gravity continues its work with remarkable patience, maintaining gentle order without forcing change. It allows matter to remain loosely connected to the galaxy's structure, neither pulling it inward nor pushing it away. This relaxed guidance ensures that motion remains slow, predictable, and untroubled. The space influenced by the supernova becomes increasingly uniform over time. Pressure differences fade, temperatures equalize, and motion settles into a steady background drift. In this state, the region becomes indistinguishable from other quiet areas of the galaxy, contributing silently to overall harmony. Elements created and released long ago now drift peacefully through the galaxy, participating in slow cycles measured in millions of years. Their movement is calm and unremarkable, guided by large-scale gravitational patterns that rarely change. This long journey allows matter to exist without destination, simply carried along by time. Magnetic fields in the region remain present but gentle, guiding charged particles subtly without shaping dramatic structures. Their influence is even and consistent, contributing to order while preserving stillness. These invisible patterns support calm alignment rather than activity. The silence of this space is complete and uninterrupted. With no sound and no sudden events, time feels expanded. Change continues, but at such a slow pace that it blends seamlessly into rest, reinforcing the universe's preference for quiet continuity. Matter here holds possibility without pressure. It may one day become part of a distant cloud or a future star, but there is no expectation and no urgency. Everything waits naturally, allowing potential to remain dormant without discomfort. In this stage, the supernova story is no longer about transformation, but about peaceful persistence. What remains is balance, patience, and quiet presence. The universe carries forward the legacy of the star, not with intensity but with calm care, allowing rest and continuity to be just as meaningful as creation. As the long aftermath of a supernova continues to settle, the region it once influenced becomes a place where motion feels almost timeless. Matter drifts so slowly that change can no longer be marked by moments, only by vast stretches of cosmic time. In this stage, the universe feels at rest, not because nothing exists, but because everything has found a pace that no longer calls for attention. The energy released long ago has now fully dissolved into the broader fabric of the galaxy. It does not linger as heat or light, but as subtle contributions to pressure, motion, and balance across enormous distances. This quiet integration allows space to remain smooth and even, with no trace of urgency or disturbance left behind. Light in this region is now indistinguishable from the soft background glow of the galaxy. Any remaining emissions are so faint and diffuse that they blend seamlessly into darkness. This absence of contrast creates a visual calm where nothing stands out and nothing pulls the eye forward. Gravity continues to act gently, maintaining large-scale order without demanding action. It keeps matter aligned with the galaxy's slow rotation, allowing particles to follow predictable paths that rarely change. This steady guidance supports long-term calm, where motion exists without acceleration or collapse. The elements created by the supernova now participate fully in the galaxy's slow circulation. They move through interstellar space over millions of years, mixing gradually with other material. This mixing is even and patient, ensuring balance rather than concentration, and continuity rather than disruption. The space once shaped by the supernova no longer carries any sense of event or aftermath. Its temperatures have stabilized, its pressures have equalized, and its motion has settled into the background rhythm of the galaxy. What remains is a region that feels complete, no longer transitioning, simply existing. Magnetic fields in this area persist in a calm, uniform state. Their influence is subtle, guiding particles softly without forming sharp structures or energetic flows. These invisible patterns contribute to quiet order, helping maintain alignment while allowing stillness to dominate. The silence here is absolute. With no sound, no rapid motion, and no sudden changes, time feels extended and gentle. The universe does not rush through this space. It allows it to remain exactly as it is, unbothered and unhurried. Matter in this region holds quiet potential without expectation. It may one day become part of a new cloud or star, but only when conditions naturally align. Until then, it rests comfortably, free from pressure to transform or move toward any outcome. In this final stage, the story of the supernova resolves not into an ending, but into calm continuity. What once transformed has become part of the universe's steady foundation. Balance has returned, motion has softened, and space carries forward the legacy of the star with patience, silence, and gentle care, allowing the cosmos to remain peaceful, open, and endlessly at rest. As the quiet influence of a supernova continues far beyond its visible remnant, the region it once shaped settles into a state where change becomes almost indistinguishable from stillness. Matter drifts so slowly that motion feels symbolic rather than physical, guided by forces that act patiently over immense spans of time. In this phase, the universe does not feel empty or inactive, but calmly sustained, holding everything in a gentle balance that requires no effort to maintain. The atoms released during the supernova now exist as part of the galaxy's broad, steady circulation. They follow vast orbital paths around the galactic center, moving at speeds that are constant and predictable. This motion does not rush toward any destination. Instead, it repeats endlessly, allowing matter to remain present without pressure to become anything else. Energy that once radiated outward with intensity has long since softened into background conditions. It contributes quietly to the overall temperature and structure of space, no longer distinguishable as a separate influence. This quiet merging shows how even the most powerful processes ultimately resolve into calm participation within a larger whole. The visual character of this region has now fully blended with its surroundings. There are no sharp edges, no glowing filaments, and no visible signs of disturbance. Light passes through evenly, shadows are diffuse, and space appears smooth and continuous, reinforcing a sense of deep visual rest. Gravity continues to guide matter gently, maintaining alignment without forcing change. It neither collapses material inward nor allows it to scatter away. This steady influence keeps everything loosely connected, supporting long-term stability and preventing extremes from forming. The silence here is profound. With no sound and no rapid motion, time feels expanded, as though it has slowed to match the pace of space itself. This silence is not absence, but presence without demand, allowing the universe to simply be. Magnetic fields persist quietly, shaping motion at subtle levels without creating tension or complexity. The influence is uniform and calm, helping maintain order while allowing stillness to dominate. These invisible structures act as quiet guardians of balance. Matter in this region holds potential without urgency. It may one day contribute to new clouds, stars, or distant worlds, but there is no schedule and no expectation. Everything remains free to exist without being pulled toward transformation. The galaxy absorbs the legacy of the supernova without disruption. Spiral arms continue their slow rotation. Stars maintain their steady paths and clouds drift patiently. The supernova's contribution becomes part of this larger rhythm, indistinguishable yet essential. In this stage, the story of the supernova has fully softened into calm continuity. What began as transformation now exists as balance, rest, and quiet persistence. The universe carries forward this legacy gently, allowing space to remain peaceful, open, and unhurried, with nothing left to resolve and nothing required to change. As the quiet legacy of a supernova continues to settle into the wider galaxy, the region it once influenced becomes almost indistinguishable from the calm surrounding space. Matter remains present, but its movement is so gentle that it feels suspended rather than active. In this phase, the universe appears to be resting, allowing everything to remain exactly where it is without pressure to change. The atoms released long ago now participate in the slow circular motion of the galaxy itself. They drift along broad, predictable paths shaped by gravity that rarely shifts. This motion is steady and repetitive, creating a sense of reliability that supports long-term balance rather than transition. Any remaining thermal energy from the supernova has now spread so evenly that no warm or cool regions stand out. Temperatures have equalized across wide distances, creating an environment where extremes no longer exist. This thermal calm allows space to feel comfortable and stable, free from internal contrast. Light passing through this region encounters nothing sharp or reflective. Instead, it moves freely, unbroken by dense structures or glowing remnants. The result is a visual softness, where darkness and faint illumination blend together without boundaries, allowing the eye to rest without searching for form. Gravity continues its role with quiet consistency, maintaining large-scale order without drawing matter inward or pushing it away. This gentle guidance allows material to remain loosely arranged, preserving freedom of motion while preventing dispersal into emptiness. Magnetic fields remain present but subdued, guiding charged particles along smooth, invisible lines. Their influence is even and calming, contributing to alignment rather than complexity. These fields act quietly, supporting stability without ever demanding attention. The silence of this space is complete and enduring. With no sound and no rapid movement, time seems to stretch outward. Change continues, but at a pace so slow that it feels almost imperceptible, reinforcing the universe's deep preference for patience. Matter here holds memory without disturbance. Though its origins trace back to a powerful transformation, nothing about its current state suggests urgency or intensity. The past has softened into presence, allowing history to exist without weight. The surrounding galaxy accepts this material seamlessly. Stars continue their steady paths, clouds drift slowly, and spiral arms rotate with calm regularity. The supernova's contribution has become part of this broader rhythm, neither standing apart nor fading away. In this stage, the story no longer feels like one of ending or beginning. It feels like continuation without demand. Space remains calm, balanced, and quietly complete, carrying forward the remnants of transformation in a way that allows rest, patience, and stillness to remain central to the universe's ongoing flow. As the quiet influence of the supernova continues far beyond memory or observation, the region it once shaped settles into a state where motion and stillness feel indistinguishable. Matter remains present, yet it drifts so slowly that time itself seems to widen around it. In this phase, the universe appears content to pause, allowing everything to exist without direction, expectation, or pressure to become something else. The atoms that were released during the star's final transformation now move as part of the galaxy's vast and steady circulation. They follow broad, looping paths governed by gravity that has not changed its rhythm for billions of years. This movement is calm and predictable, creating a sense of security and repetition, where nothing sudden interrupts the flow. Any remaining energy from the supernova has now fully dispersed into the surrounding space, contributing quietly to the background balance of the galaxy. It no longer appears as heat, light, or motion, but as part of the steady conditions that shape space everywhere. This gentle blending removes all traces of urgency, allowing the region to feel settled and complete. The visual character of this space is now deeply uniform. There are no glowing edges, no dense knots of matter, and no features that draw attention. Light passes through evenly, and darkness feels smooth rather than empty. This visual simplicity allows observation to soften, offering no detail that needs to be followed or understood. Gravity continues its presence as a calm, constant guide. It neither gathers matter tightly nor allows it to drift away completely. Instead, it holds everything loosely, maintaining connection without confinement. This gentle balance supports long-term stability, where matter can remain suspended in comfort for immense spans of time. Magnetic fields in this region persist quietly, existing as soft frameworks rather than active forces. Their influence is subtle and evenly distributed, guiding charged particles without creating structure or tension. These invisible patterns help maintain alignment while allowing stillness to remain the dominant experience. The silence here is profound and uninterrupted. With no sound, no vibration, and no sudden movement, time feels stretched and unmeasured. Change continues, but at a pace so slow that it blends seamlessly into rest, reinforcing the sense that the universe is in no hurry to move forward. Matter in this region carries potential without obligation. It may one day become part of a new cloud, a future star, or a distant planet, but only when conditions naturally align. Until then, it remains free to exist without purpose, resting comfortably within the larger cosmic environment. The surrounding galaxy continues its slow, steady patterns without acknowledging this region as separate or special. Spiral arms rotate calmly, stars follow long-established paths, and interstellar clouds drift patiently. The supernova's contribution has become fully integrated, no longer distinct, yet essential. In this stage, the story of the supernova no longer feels like a narrative of transformation. It feels like quiet continuation. What once changed has now settled into balance, becoming part of the universe's steady foundation. Space remains calm, open, and gently sustained, carrying forward the remnants of stellar life with patience, silence, and enduring ease. As the influence of the supernova fades further into the background of cosmic time, the region it once shaped becomes a place where existence feels unhurried and complete. Matter remains present, yet its movement is so slow that it seems to rest within space rather than travel through it. In this quiet phase, the universe feels settled, as if it has gently closed a chapter without marking an ending. The atoms released long ago now move in harmony with the galaxy's slow rotation. They follow vast, looping paths that repeat predictably, guided by gravity that has remained steady for billions of years. This repetition creates a sense of calm reliability, where motion exists without surprise and time unfolds without urgency. Any remaining energy from the supernova has fully merged into the subtle background conditions of space. It no longer announces itself as heat or light, but contributes quietly to balance and structure across immense distances. This quiet integration allows the region to feel smooth and undisturbed, free from contrasts or extremes. Visually, this space has become deeply uniform. There are no sharp features to draw the eye, no glowing remnants to suggest activity. Light moves through gently, and darkness feels soft rather than empty. This simplicity allows awareness to rest, offering nothing that demands attention or interpretation. Gravity continues to act as a gentle presence, holding matter in loose alignment without pulling it inward or letting it scatter away. This balance allows particles to remain comfortably spaced, maintaining connection without confinement. The result is a sense of support rather than control, where stability arises naturally. Magnetic fields persist as quiet frameworks within this region, guiding charged particles along smooth, invisible paths. Their influence is even and calm, contributing to order without creating structure or motion that would disturb the stillness. These unseen patterns help maintain gentle alignment across wide areas of space. The silence here is complete and enduring. With no sound and no rapid movement, time feels extended, almost softened. Change continues, but at a pace so slow that it blends seamlessly into rest, reinforcing the universe's deep patience. Matter in this region holds potential without pressure. It may one day become part of a new cloud, a future star, or a distant world, but only when conditions align naturally. Until then, it remains free to exist without direction, resting comfortably within the larger cosmic environment. The surrounding galaxy accepts this material without distinction. Stars continue their steady paths, spiral arms rotate calmly, and interstellar clouds drift without urgency. The supernova's contribution is now fully woven into this broader rhythm, neither highlighted nor forgotten. In this stage, the story of the supernova has softened into quiet continuity. What once transformed has settled into balance, becoming part of the universe's steady foundation. Space remains calm, open, and gently sustained, carrying forward the remnants of stellar life with patience, silence, and an enduring sense of peace. As the influence of the supernova continues to dissolve into the larger rhythm of the galaxy, the region it once defined becomes a place where motion feels almost symbolic. Matter remains present, yet it drifts so slowly that its movement blends into stillness. In this phase, the universe appears content to maintain balance rather than pursue change, allowing everything to exist without urgency or direction. The atoms released during the star's final transition now travel along vast galactic paths that repeat predictably over immense spans of time. These paths do not lead toward a destination, but simply continue, shaped by gravity that has remained steady for billions of years. This repetition creates a sense of calm reliability, where motion exists without surprise and time unfolds without pressure. Any trace of heat or energetic activity has long since evened out across surrounding space. Temperatures have stabilized, and differences have softened until no region stands apart from another. This quiet thermal balance allows the environment to feel settled and comfortable, free from extremes or tension. Light passing through this region encounters no sharp boundaries or glowing remnants. Instead, it moves freely, spreading evenly across space. Darkness here feels gentle rather than empty, and illumination fades gradually rather than abruptly, supporting a visual calm that allows awareness to rest. Gravity continues its role as a steady presence rather than a force of change. It maintains loose alignment among particles, keeping them connected to the galaxy without drawing them inward or pushing them apart. This gentle guidance supports long-term stability while preserving freedom of motion. Magnetic fields remain present as subtle frameworks woven through space. Their influence is soft and evenly distributed, guiding charged particles along smooth, invisible paths. These fields do not impose structure or urgency, but quietly support order without disturbing the surrounding stillness. The silence of this region is complete and unbroken. With no sound and no rapid events, time feels expanded, as though it has slowed to match the pace of space itself. Change continues, but so gradually that it feels indistinguishable from rest, reinforcing a deep sense of calm endurance. Matter here holds potential without obligation. It may one day become part of a new interstellar cloud, a future star, or a distant world, but only when conditions naturally align. Until then, it remains free to exist without purpose, resting comfortably within the larger cosmic environment. The surrounding galaxy continues its slow patterns without acknowledging this region as separate or distinct. Stars follow their long-established paths, spiral arms rotate gently, and clouds drift patiently. The supernova's contribution has become fully integrated, neither emphasized nor erased, simply present. In this stage, the story no longer feels like one of transformation or aftermath. It feels like quiet continuation. What once changed has settled into balance, becoming part of the universe's steady foundation. Space remains calm, open, and gently sustained, carrying forward the remnants of stellar life with patience, silence, and a deep, enduring peace. As the quiet legacy of the supernova continues to settle, the region it once influenced becomes a place where motion feels gentle and self-sustaining. Matter drifts along broad, patient paths that rarely change, guided by forces that act steadily rather than urgently. In this environment, nothing competes for attention, and the universe appears comfortable, maintaining balance without introducing new movement or direction. The atoms released during the star's transformation now exist within the galaxy's slow circulation, moving in wide arcs that repeat over immense spans of time. This repetition brings a sense of reliability, where motion is predictable and calm. There is no destination to reach and no pressure to arrive, only the quiet reassurance of continuity. Any remaining energy from the supernova has fully merged into the background conditions of space. It contributes softly to overall balance, no longer distinguishable as heat or light. This blending removes contrast and intensity, allowing the region to feel smooth and evenly composed, free from reminders of past change. Light travelling through this area encounters no sharp structures or glowing edges. It passes gently, diffused across wide distances, creating a visual softness that feels restful rather than empty. Darkness and faint illumination coexist without conflict, offering a sense of visual ease that requires no focus. Gravity continues its presence as a calm guide, maintaining loose alignment among particles without forcing them together or letting them drift away. This gentle influence allows matter to remain comfortably spaced, preserving freedom while supporting long-term stability. The result is balance that feels supportive rather than controlling. Magnetic fields persist quietly, woven through space as subtle frameworks rather than active forces. Their influence is even and restrained, guiding charged particles along smooth, invisible paths. These unseen patterns help maintain order without introducing tension or activity, reinforcing the overall stillness. The silence of this region remains complete and uninterrupted. With no sound and no rapid events, time feels expanded and unmeasured. Change continues at such a slow pace that it blends seamlessly into rest, reinforcing the universe's preference for patience and calm endurance. Matter holds potential without expectation. It may one day become part of a distant cloud, a future star, or a new world, but only when conditions align naturally. Until then, it rests comfortably, free from urgency, allowed to exist without purpose or direction. The surrounding galaxy continues its steady patterns without distinction. Stars maintain their long-established paths, spiral arms rotate gently, and interstellar clouds drift patiently. The supernova's contribution is now fully integrated. neither highlighted nor diminished, simply present within the broader rhythm. In this stage, the story has softened into quiet persistence. What once transformed has settled into balance, becoming part of the universe's calm foundation. Space remains open, steady, and gently sustained, carrying forward the remnants of stellar life with patience, silence, and a deep sense of peace. As the universe continues to carry the quiet legacy of the supernova forward, the region shaped by its distant past settles even more deeply into calm continuity. Matter remains present, yet its motion is so subtle that it feels almost indistinguishable from stillness. In this stage, space no longer reflects change or transformation, but a steady acceptance of what is, allowing everything to exist without urgency or demand. The atoms released long ago now move gently within the galaxy's vast repeating patterns. Their paths are wide and predictable, guided by gravity that has not altered its rhythm for billions of years. This repetition creates a feeling of quiet reassurance, where motion exists without surprise and time unfolds without pressure or direction. Any remaining traces of energy from the supernova have fully blended into the background conditions of space. They contribute softly to balance and structure, no longer identifiable as a separate influence. This gentle integration removes contrast and intensity, allowing the region to feel smooth, even, and deeply settled. Visually, this space has become serene and uniform. There are no bright remnants or distinct structures to follow. Light passes through freely, and darkness feels soft rather than empty. This visual simplicity offers rest for awareness, with nothing that requires attention or interpretation. Gravity continues its role as a quiet guide rather than a force of change. It maintains loose alignment among particles, preventing collapse without forcing dispersal. This gentle balance supports long-term stability, allowing matter to remain comfortably suspended within the larger cosmic environment. Magnetic fields persist in a calm, even state, guiding charged particles along subtle, invisible paths. Their influence is steady and restrained, contributing to alignment without creating motion that would disturb stillness. These unseen patterns help preserve order while allowing calm to dominate. The silence here is complete and enduring. With no sound and no rapid events, time feels expanded, almost softened. Change continues, but at a pace so slow that it feels woven into rest itself, reinforcing the universe's deep patience. Matter in this region holds possibility without obligation. It may one day become part of a new interstellar cloud, a future star, or a distant world, but only when conditions naturally align. Until then, it remains free to exist without purpose, resting gently within the larger flow of the galaxy. The surrounding galaxy continues its slow, familiar motions without recognizing this region as separate or distinct. Stars follow their long-established paths, spiral arms rotate calmly, and clouds drift patiently. The supernova's contribution has become fully absorbed, neither emphasized nor erased. In this stage, the story of the supernova feels complete without concluding. What once transformed has settled into balance, becoming part of the universe's steady foundation. Space remains calm, open, and gently sustained, carrying forward the remnants of stellar life with patience, silence, and a quiet sense of enduring peace. As time stretches far beyond the visible remnants of a supernova, the region it once influenced settles into a state where existence feels effortless. Matter no longer carries momentum that draws attention, and motion becomes so slow that it feels woven into stillness itself. In this calm phase, the universe does not appear to be waiting for anything. It simply maintains balance, allowing particles to remain suspended in quiet harmony without direction or urgency. The atoms released during the star's transformation now travel through the galaxy as part of a vast, patient circulation. Their paths are shaped by gravity that acts with unwavering consistency, guiding them along routes that repeat gently over immense spans of time. This repetition brings a sense of comfort, as nothing unexpected interrupts their motion, and time unfolds without pressure or demand. Any remaining trace of the supernova's energy has long since blended into the background conditions of space. It no longer exists as heat or brightness, but as a subtle contribution to the equilibrium that governs the galaxy. This quiet merging allows the region to feel smooth and even, free from contrast, as though the universe has carefully softened every edge. Light passing through this space encounters no sharp boundaries or glowing structures. It moves freely, diffused across wide distances, creating a visual experience that feels calm and complete. Darkness here is not empty, but restful, offering no detail that needs to be followed or understood. Gravity continues to act as a steady, reassuring presence. It neither pulls matter inward, nor allows it to drift away entirely. Instead, it maintains a gentle connection between particles, supporting stability without confinement. This balance allows matter to remain comfortably spaced, preserving freedom while sustaining order. Magnetic fields persist quietly, existing as subtle frameworks rather than active forces. Their influence is even and restrained, guiding charged particles along smooth, invisible paths. These unseen structures help maintain alignment without introducing tension, reinforcing the overall stillness of the region. The silence here is deep and uninterrupted. With no sound and no rapid movement, time feels extended, almost softened. Change continues, but at a pace so slow that it blends seamlessly into rest, reminding us that activity and stillness can coexist without conflict. Matter in this region holds potential without obligation. It may one day become part of a distant cloud, a future star, or a new world, but only when conditions naturally align. Until then, it rests comfortably, free from urgency, allowed to exist without purpose or expectation. The surrounding galaxy continues its slow, familiar rhythms, without distinguishing this region as special or separate. Stars follow their long-established paths, spiral arms rotate calmly, and interstellar clouds drift patiently. The supernova's contribution has become fully integrated, neither highlighted nor forgotten, simply present. In this enduring calm, the story of the supernova feels complete without ever closing. What once transformed has settled into balance, becoming part of the universe's steady foundation. Space remains open, gentle, and sustained, carrying forward the quiet legacy of stellar life with patience, silence, and a deep, abiding peace. As the quiet influence of a supernova continues to fade into the background of cosmic time, the space it once touched becomes a place where nothing feels unfinished. Matter remains gently distributed, and motion exists without direction or urgency. In this calm state, the universe appears content to simply hold what remains, allowing balance to persist without needing change or renewal. The particles released long ago now move through the galaxy with such steadiness that their journey feels more like presence than travel. Guided by gravity that acts patiently and predictably, they follow wide paths that repeat without variation. This repetition creates a sense of safety and continuity, where motion never surprises and time unfolds softly. Any lingering heat from the supernova has long since equalized with the surrounding space. Temperatures rest in harmony with no extremes left to smooth out. This thermal balance supports an environment where matter can remain undisturbed, reinforcing the feeling that the universe has settled comfortably into itself. Light in this region passes through without interruption, no longer shaped by glowing remnants or dense structures. It spreads evenly, allowing darkness and faint illumination to coexist gently. This visual quiet offers no focal point, encouraging the mind to rest without searching for detail. Gravity continues its calm guidance, maintaining loose alignment among particles while preserving their freedom. It does not hurry matter toward collapse, nor does it allow it to drift into emptiness. This steady influence supports long-term stability, creating a sense of quiet support rather than control. Magnetic fields remain present but softened, guiding charged particles along smooth, invisible routes. Their influence is subtle and even, contributing to order without creating motion that would disturb stillness. These unseen patterns quietly reinforce calm alignment across vast distances. The silence of this space is complete and enduring. With no sound and no sudden movement, time feels extended and unmeasured. Change continues, but at such a slow pace that it blends naturally into rest, allowing the universe to remain deeply patient. Matter here exists with potential but without expectation. It may one day become part of a new interstellar cloud or a future star, but only when conditions arise naturally. Until then, it remains free to simply exist, resting without pressure to transform. The surrounding galaxy continues its slow rhythms without marking this region as different. Stars trace their long paths, spiral arms rotate gently, and clouds drift calmly. The supernova's contribution has been fully absorbed into this broader pattern, neither emphasized nor lost. In this final calm, the legacy of the supernova feels complete without ever concluding. What once changed has settled into balance, becoming part of the universe's steady, quiet foundation. Space remains open and gently sustained, carrying forward the memory of stellar life with patience, silence, and an enduring sense of peace. As the universe continues to carry the quiet memory of a supernova, the region it once influenced feels increasingly settled, as though every particle has found a comfortable place to rest. Motion remains present, but it is so gentle that it no longer suggests change. Instead, it feels like a steady background rhythm, allowing space to exist without effort or intention. The atoms that were once part of a living star now drift through the galaxy with remarkable patience. Their paths are guided by gravity that acts consistently and without interruption, creating movement that repeats softly over immense periods of time. This repetition removes any sense of urgency, replacing it with calm continuity. Any remaining traces of the supernova's energy have fully blended into the larger balance of space. What was once brightness and heat has become part of the quiet conditions that shape the galaxy everywhere. This gentle blending smooths all contrasts, leaving behind an environment that feels even and composed. Light passing through this region encounters no sharp edges or active structures. It moves freely and evenly, allowing darkness to feel complete rather than empty. This visual stillness gives the sense that nothing needs to be seen or followed, allowing awareness to relax. Gravity continues its role as a steady, reassuring presence. It keeps matter loosely connected without pulling it inward or pushing it away. This gentle balance supports long-term stability while preserving freedom, allowing particles to remain comfortably spaced and untroubled. Magnetic fields remain woven through space as quiet frameworks rather than forces of action. Their influence is subtle and calm, guiding charged particles softly without creating tension or motion that would disturb the surrounding stillness. These unseen patterns quietly support order. The silence here feels deep and uninterrupted. With no sound and no rapid movement, time seems to stretch outward, unmarked by events. Change continues, but at a pace so slow that it blends seamlessly into rest, reinforcing the universe's deep patience. Matter in this region holds possibility without pressure. It may one day contribute to new stars, planets, or distant clouds, but only when conditions naturally allow. Until then, it rests peacefully, free from expectation or demand. The surrounding galaxy continues its slow, familiar motions without distinguishing this space as special. Stars follow their ancient paths, spiral arms rotate gently, and interstellar clouds drift patiently. The supernova's contribution has become a quiet part of this larger harmony. In this enduring calm, the story of the supernova remains open rather than finished. What once transformed has settled into balance, becoming part of the universe's steady foundation. Space continues gently, sustained by patience and silence, allowing everything to remain exactly as it is. As this gentle journey through the quiet nature of supernovas begins to settle into stillness, there is nothing left to follow and nothing left to hold in mind. The universe can continue its slow rhythm on its own, carrying the remnants of stars with patience and care without needing your attention. You may notice your thoughts becoming softer now, less defined, like faint light fading into deep space. That easing is natural. Just as supernovas resolve into balance over time, the mind does not need to reach conclusions or stay alert. Everything important can remain exactly as it is. Let your breathing stay unforced and easy, rising and falling in its own steady way. Let your body rest where it is, supported by stillness rather than effort. Imagine the vast calm that follows stellar transformation, where motion slows, silence deepens, and space holds everything gently in place. Supernovas remind us that even the most powerful changes in the universe return to quiet continuity. What seems intense from one perspective becomes calm and enduring when time is allowed to stretch. In that patience, rest becomes possible. Thank you for spending this time with the Sleepy Scientist. Whenever the world feels loud or the mind feels full, you are always welcome to return to these peaceful explorations, where science moves slowly and curiosity rests. For now, let the quiet remain. Let the universe continue its gentle flow beyond awareness, and allow whatever comes next to arrive naturally, without needing to be noticed at all.